back, juggalos and juggalettes.
Lows and lets, and bitches.
Whoa.
Whoa!
Whoa.
We're back on TV again. It's been a month. Prepare for it to be a month again.
Or don't.
Holy shit, dude. It's fucking... What's the show called?
Memoir. Squeak.
Black Memoir. That's what it's called. What is your name?
Benjamin Sahelanthropus to Benjamin.
Fuck you. I am, Geron, Hot Coldman Geron. Alright, whatever.
Not very good.
I know it wasn't very good, but you can shove that up your own ass with that shit.
No.
You just took a dump. Why not put it back?
Oh. Should we just cancel it for today?
No, fuck you. Fuck you. Fucking, I don't even know where to start. I know you have stuff you want to talk about, but there's just stuff. It doesn't have.
Where did we last end up? It was June.
It was June. I think it was. Was it right after the "we're not making physical games anymore" thing? Star Fox wasn't out yet.
Star Fox was not out yet.
You haven't played it yet, so.
Correct. And
I think
who knows
great.
if I ever will.
You
can talk about it.
Bitch made. Didn't we?
We talked a little bit about it. You talked about the demo, I think. I don't know if you gave the full review.
I'm going to talk about the demo. The fucking game is great. They don't ask too much of you. Very completable. The multiplayer is very fun. The graphics are really fucking good. The controls feel great. And my only complaint is that the last boss is a little neutered compared to, like, not gameplay wise, but presentation wise compared to the original game. That's it. I think if this is your first experience with Star Fox 64, perfectly fine to play it this way. You will miss some of the very iconic voice performances that were in the original game, but whatever, that's fine. Game's great. Easy purchase. If you ever switch to, buy it digitally for $50, physically for $60, whatever you want to do. There isn't really much more for me to talk about, mainly because someone else in the room hasn't played it, and I really want him to play it for himself, and so I'm not going to talk too fucking much.
It's just a remake.
And you haven't even played the fucking original game, nutsack.
But what's the point?
All right, get up.
I played the original. I played it for Super Nintendo.
No, you didn't. I know you played the Super Nintendo game, but you haven't played Star Fox 69, so that's fine.
Do they do that?
Do what?
69.
They do.
Wow.
The fucking
that's crazy. I didn't realize that.
Fox and Crystal do it.
All right.
Special
now
ending.
I have to play it next.
And Crystal is like piss and snorting everywhere at the end of it.
I'm gonna be mentally ready and physically.
The last thing you see is Fox shooting his head up, covered in slop.
Oh my god!
And then it goes black and white before fading to black.
Get your fucking head out of the gutter.
I mean, that happens in Star Fox Command, so.
Kind of.
Maybe not.
Not on screen.
Let's
put it that way.
Yeah.
But they do have children's.
Yeah. Anyone who's asking for a sequel after that game is out of their mind. But
I'm ready for a remake of Star Fox Command.
We could do it. Yeah, touchscreen.
I have fond feelings of that game.
I like the game.
I don't know how well it's aged, but I had fun when it came out.
I played a run of it before the new game came out. And I was like, oh, okay, I still like it.
I know you go kind of ape for that kind of a conceit, though, in the sense of, like, there's a lot of endings and paths, and you like to be able to replay games multiple times.
I've gotten everything in that.
That's typically not one of the ways I like to game.
Wow.
But I really liked that game. I liked getting all the endings in that game.
I mean, going for the different endings meant playing. It was like just playing more levels. Like,
right.
There was stuff you just wouldn't ever do unless you were going for those endings. So that's reasonable. Hold on. It was a really bad idea to bring these over
Yeah,
here.
it was an
awful
completely awful idea. Like, of all the things you could do while recording audio, that's like probably
The
number
worst-
one worst thing you
you're
could do.
right. All right, I'll just let them sit here. It's fine. But yeah.
Some people talk
Yeah.
about like the lack of personality in either the voice acting or
Are you talking about the new game?
yeah, or the animations or whatever, right? And like the train, something about the train doesn't explode right, so it's like completely pointless.
Yeah,
Are those valid takes? I think I probably know your answer.
I think the way the N64 game was, you basically can't replicate because their goal was to make this game a little bit more realistic.
Right.
What I'm doing air quotes, and in doing so, it means the big explosions look like explosions rather than the big like spheres, and it doesn't have the crazy like screen shake and shit like that.
Yeah.
It's fine. I do think you lose a little bit of something when without those explosions, especially on that level if you're expecting it. At the same time, the game's very much a different interpretation of Star Fox 64. I can't be upset about it when the act of playing the game fucking rules.
Yeah.
So, I do think some of the voices are a little toned down. Accents are toned down. There is a particular character
more grounded.
Yeah, there's a particular character whose personality is completely different, which might throw a lot of people off who are expecting this character to be a certain way. But again, I can't fault them for. I've always interpreted this remake as them making Star Fox the movie, quote unquote, as a game.
Right.
And that's what I'm getting out of it. That's what I got out of it. And on top of that, the game feels really good to play for me, at least. But I genuinely see people who would have complaints about the performances and all that just because they're quite a bit different.
Right.
And like I said, I think the last boss they kind of neutered a little bit too hard. There's a certain thing about him that I was excited to see, and they had to probably to keep the
groundedness.
keep the rating in check.
Oh, okay.
They did some things to it that I was like, oh, of course they did that. God damn it. But that was it, really. So I can't spoil it for you.
I don't know what you're
fucking
talking about.
bitch made, didn't play the game, but that's alright.
It's alright.
It's
okay.
It is okay.
Instead, I'm just going to play the N64 version of Metroid Prime.
Okay, do it. Show me. Show it to me.
The fans are giving us what we needed.
Fuck off with that shit.
Have you seen that, though?
I have seen it.
What are your thoughts on that?
Fine.
Are you going to touch it?
This is like a fun thing to do. Are
you going to touch it?
I'll probably give it a look. Yeah. I usually touch shit like that. Just out of curiosity. Yeah.
Morbid curiosity.
Yeah. I know some people make their shit like when they find fan projects and shit like that. It won't be with that one, but they'll just be like, oh, this is the definitive way to play the game. It's like,
AM2R.
You're not about it.
AM2R is the classic example of that.
Just like, get out of my face. You're not actually about the game. You don't care. You're selfish. You're a selfish consumer. It's fine. It's fine. I don't mean that as a negative. That's just what you are. And because of that, I have no interest in what you have to say. It's fine.
Oh, it's funny.
But And so you were playing something.
But one other question about the gameplay of Star Fox Remake. The other complaint that I saw is that I guess because it's trying to be more realistic and grounded or whatever, the gameplay feedback, like the whole thing of the original games having like the big bright flashing things like shoot here and then the whole boss flashing when it gets hit, I think that's like toned down or not present is what I was saying. So there was some question of like, oh well, how would somebody even know what to do if they've never played the original game?
Yeah, I mean, the characters talk to you a lot. You'll know what to do.
Oh, okay.
Like you have to be stupid to not be able to. But
they kind of tutorialize it.
They if
in the sense of like characters just telling you what to do.
If you keep Peppy alive, especially like if you keep Peppy, safe, he'll give you a hint on what to do if you're taking too long and whatever. Part of the game is figuring out what to do anyway. So instead of having big flashing when you hit stuff, because the game had a good sound for feedback and the flashing, it all worked out. I think Star Fox 64 still feels really good because of that stuff. This new game does it mostly with sound. So
okay,
like when you hit enemies,
that's
things
not
like
very
that.
accessible.
Whatever. Whatever. Not. But when you hit something and it's a successful hit, you get a really loud like tink noise that you cannot miss, and that actually feels really good too to me. I'm like,
does the controller rumble a little bit too?
The controller rumble, yeah, it does every little
good.
thing that you could do.
So it is accessible.
Yeah, yeah, it is accessible. But yeah, no, when you hit something, you know you hit it. When you hit something right, you know you did so. Like on the bosses where they have they don't blink, but they have a big health bar. You just watch it go down. Yeah. It's like you're not really gonna have that hard of a time figuring out what's going on. I think there are a lot of, how to put it as meanly as possible. No, I think there's a lot of armchair game designers that haven't actually made shit and don't really understand that just because it wasn't the way they expected to be, that it's not wrong. Like there's just a different way to do everything. Like fucking Devil May Cry, nothing flashes in DMC1.
Right.
Like,
which is why that game sucks.
Yeah. Like there are so many games that don't have that kind of feedback, and the original Star Fox 64 obviously peels from our like arcade shooter roots, and that flashing and those sounds are part of that. Like this game is meant to be more grounded, so they removed some of that and did it with sound effects. Even though the sound effects are still pretty arcadey.
Are there even like modern AAA or even AA style on-rail shooters
I can't
to
think
compare
of
it against? Really,
the
just
only
remakes.
Ones I can think
Panzer
of,
Dragoon remake, maybe.
Yeah, Panzer Dragoon. But the only things I can come up with are literally Star Fox clones, like EX Zodiac. That fucking Wild Blue Skies is coming out.
I think I treat those as indie, not like AA or AAA.
Oh yeah, I know what you mean. Okay.
Like higher production value, like a team of game designers.
There are probably some VR games I'm not thinking of, but that's it. There aren't really. That doesn't really exist anymore, which is part of why I'm glad this game exists too.
Right.
The next thing they do, if they do something, please do, just make a new game this time. You have everything you need. Star Fox 64 is here.
Don't make a new Star Fox. Make Kid Icarus.
Please.
Fine, yeah. Please.
New game or just
or Sin and Punishment. I'll take that too.
Yeah, just refactor whatever you got to do. Be a Sin and Punishment 3.
I'd be good with that.
The games are linked, sure, but they're not linked so hard that you can't just make some shit up. I don't know what Treasure's doing, so I can't be like,
That's true. I wonder what they're
doing. I don't know what the fuck they're doing right now. But
GameCube ports of Wario World.
Oh, they didn't even touch that. It's just emulation.
Yeah, I know.
But fucking Star Fox is good as shit. You should get it. You all should get it. If and when you get a Switch 2, get Star Fox soon after.
Yeah.
Okay.
I did check. The last podcast came out on July 2nd.
Oh, okay.
Which was 4 days before the Xbox restructure or announcement.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
So that could be a big story we talk about. And 1 day after PlayStation announcing it's going all digital.
Oh, 1 day after.
So we definitely didn't
even talk
it.
about that. Okay.
So
that's probably what we got to do.
Which one?
Two,
yeah,
both of them.
Yeah. We can talk about video games later at any time.
So how do you feel about the PlayStation thing? You've had a month to think about it.
Here's the ultimate takeaway for me. Just because, let's admit it, we're relatively Nintendo leaning in our podcast.
Yeah, sure. Yep, that's true. I mean, I don't even have a fucking PlayStation. That's just like I don't have a PS5, I should say. It's another point for Nintendo having seen this coming and doing the game key card thing. Like, it's very obvious that that's why they came up with game key cards before the Switch 2 came out, is because they know, they've seen the numbers, as all of these companies have seen the numbers. Capcom came out yesterday and was like, 95% of our sales are digital. Yeah. People don't really buy physical, but they should exist. I think they should exist, right? And I think there are valid reasons for it to exist. Yeah.
I think
you're talking about physical media,
physical media in
games,
general.
yeah, for games, movies,
selling
anything,
physical media in some way, shape, or form. And I'm counting game key cards as physical media, even though most people, especially when it first came out, they don't treat it as physical.
No.
It's not the whole game on the card, right? Really, what I'm talking about is media that you can take and transfer ownership, right? Like that's ultimately what I'm talking about, and being able to do that at storefronts, like having a physical presence. Maybe not physical media existing physically all on a physical device, but a physical presence in the physical world that can also be transferred physically in the physical world.
It's the transference part
those are the two important things that need to continue existing. Yeah. I did also see the third thing that I acknowledge, admittedly, though it's like, you know, relatively niche and edge case, is like when game designers and game developers, I don't know why, not just designers, anyone that developed and contributed to a game, being able to have a physical copy of that game that like represents their pride and achievement is an important thing, right? Anytime an artist of any kind, whether it's music, whether it's working on a movie, whether it's working on anything, having something that kind of represents that finished product that you can have, again, in the physical world in some way, shape, or form, even if it's a game key card, something like that. I think it's important. I
have physical copies of the games I worked on.
I think that's important too.
I have them on Xbox. I don't even have a fucking Xbox.
Yeah, just representing it in a way that's like, here's something that exists in the physical world that you have and that you own, right? Even if like the content is downloaded from an official server, you have a physical thing that you own and you have your stamped your name on it. Like that just like metaphorically is important. So like those three things, I think Sony wasn't really taking into consideration, obviously. So it was purely a business decision. But I think those three reasons are why there should be something that exists. I think game key cards, again, Nintendo, I think, made the right call in terms of like understanding how to thread the needle, which is like recognizing that it's a continuously dwindling percentage of the market share. And it's just kind of the reality. I think it's very much overrepresented as a vocal minority on the internet. But I think those three reasons I articulated are the reasons why it should still exist. Not necessarily like, you know, some of the other things that people talk about of like, oh, preservation or whatever, right? Like, I feel like preservation is kind of not exactly articulating the issue.
One of my things with how people have been going about this is that they don't know what they're talking about.
Yeah.
And so they, not saying that they don't have a good reason to be, you know, upset or whatever, but they'll make something up like about maybe the way digital games work for the sake of their argument about physical existing. I'm like, don't do that. When you make something up like that, it makes everything you know, all your complaints, all your this or that, less of a factor, because now they can just say, oh, but digital actually works this way. It's not actually the hellscape that you think it is. There's a hellscape that it actually is. Right. So now you're happy. We're gonna do it anyway. It's like you know, the thing where it's like the digital stores are taking away your digital games. Yeah, that doesn't really happen.
That doesn't feel like a legitimate critique.
That doesn't,
Like, could it happen? Theoretically?
Yes, it could happen.
It could, right? Like, do they have the right to do it? Based on today's legislation, maybe, right? It's never been done, so no one's ever had to raise a lawsuit.
Exactly.
It might happen at some point, right? And that would suck fucking ass, and I'd be the first to like sign my name to be like we should now we have to do it. Now we have to do the thing. Yeah. You know, airline regulations are written in blood. Now we have to do the same thing. We have to write the legislation to stop this shit from happening. Give people a way to, you know, physically archive with their own media, you know, in an official capacity.
So my biggest thing is my thing with it is the responsibility of maintaining a copy of the game. Say if it has to be all digital, fine. In this scenario, fine. But also, allow me to choose to rescind my right to, forfeit my right to re-download it from your server, but give me the responsibility of keeping a copy, like a license, keeping a copy for myself. How they make it work, I don't know. But
I have to imagine at some point that's going to have to exist because video games are too new and this evolution of technology is too recent, for like a genuine issue to have occurred, right? And I don't. It's weird too because even with physical stuff, like physical stuff degrades.
Right.
DVD rot is real. It happens. And even like home movies, home CDs, those are all new enough that it's like we haven't really had this issue of like what happens when it degrades. Like when physical things degrade, you kind of just say like, shit, I should have backed it up, right?
I should have.
There's an element of that at play here in terms of it being on the owner of the thing. Like it's not reasonable to expect a company to provide access to a thing ad infinitum, until the end of time.
Forever, exactly.
I don't think that's reasonable, but so it's interesting. It's an interesting situation. I do think it needs to be a little bit easier, and there needs to be some kind of official way to do that transfer.
Yeah.
I suspect at some point the Wii media is going to be like on these old ass servers. It's like a security concern for Nintendo to keep it up. At some point it's going to go away.
I think it already is. It went down for a while because maybe like a migration or something like that.
Right.
But yeah.
Like at some point those are going to go away. At some point the DSi games are going to go away.
Gone. Yeah.
So having some kind of way to back those up would be a nice gesture. And it would be a nice precedent to set.
Even if it means like realistically they would never do this, but they push one last update. Of course, it means you have to connect to the internet one last time. That kind of unlocks the protection that keeps you from backing it up. Like when you back up games on Nintendo systems, at least, when you make a copy of an SD card or something, you have to copy it back exactly as it was before you use the device again.
Right.
Otherwise, it's just like, what the fuck is this? This isn't keyed right.
Yeah.
Remove that and just let me move the fucking shit to my computer. Even encrypt it or other, I don't give a fuck. Encrypt it, but allow me to move it to another 3DS or my 3DS or whatever after the fact. Like even the game cards.
There's probably, as I'm sitting here thinking about it, there's probably an element of public domain at work here, right? Like there probably needs to be some kind of like public domain ism for digital media where it's like after 50 years have passed, it's now just like it's just out there.
It's out there.
You can just access it. People can put it on archive.org. It's free. It's free the same way that sheet music from the 1700s is free. Yeah. The same way that books from the 1900s and 1800s are they? I mean,
some of them
they can't be copyrighted.
Depends on
right. Versions of it can be copyrighted if it's like rewritten, retranslated, whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
No, and that's the part that also gets messy, right? Is like if they do allow this transfer of ownership, they have to recognize that they are unfortunately giving away some level of dilution of their IP, and they lose some control of it, right? It's the reason why Disney for the last 100 years have stretched public domain, which did not used to be over 100 years. And they did that because of the mouse, right? And they finally lost the battle.
Yeah.
Winnie the Pooh, right? You can make whatever you want with Winnie the Pooh.
You can make whatever people already have. They made the fucking dumbass horror movie that I fucking don't like. But what was it called? Blood and Honey? Yeah.
So it's interesting, right?
Yeah.
I think two things that are still important with physical games that, again, I think are... I don't really know what the solution is in an all-digital world. I think game key cards, again, are like one answer to it. Is secondhand market, right? Being able to have a competition of like Walmart being able to sell things at a discount, being able to get games for $5 at like your fucking... Goodwill or whatever,
or just being able to go on like fucking eBay or some shit.
Which that extends into essentially like accessibility. Again, like I think physical media is the only way a lot of like developing nations can really access these things and play them.
Outside of not building, but
which you would imagine is also again in the company's best interest to like you want people to be accessing and contributing to and participating in like the community of your products and your IP. So it's interesting.
In my head, after seeing the way like PlayStation Network isn't accessible from every country, and you needed to play like Helldivers 2, that was a big deal. You needed to play Marvel Tokon on PC. I think Sony doesn't give a shit.
Oh, they definitely don't give a shit. I think Sony has run more corpo than Nintendo or Xbox. And that's changed since Jim Ryan, I think. Because before that, I think like when they had Japan Studio, before the PS3 era, basically, they were a lot more like toy focused.
It was still. I mean, the thing is called the fucking PlayStation.
Yeah, it was still designed for like whimsical
entertainment. It wasn't. It wasn't another way to give you movies that you press buttons through. Not to disparage the games that come out on PlayStation, but that's just kind of the way those first party games have been lately. But,
well, I mean, I would classify them as like maximalist production value games.
And I think because the HQ used to be in Japan, it is now not. It is now in the U.S. PlayStation, for all intents and purposes, is a U.S.-based company. They're going to do things that you see U.S. companies do. That's what PlayStation are doing. That's what Microsoft's doing. That's how they're operating right now. And I think I'm not a business analyst or where the fuck it is. But these things at PlayStation are doing speaking of maximalists, actually, they're kind of seeing that their audience isn't growing. So they want the people that are already in to spend as much money as they possibly can get them to spend.
They want to wring them dry.
They don't care to cater to people who, like, the people who can't afford to buy games new and buy them used. They truly do not give a shit about them now.
Right.
They want you to at least buy the console and play Fortnite on it.
Yeah, they want to provide.
They want you to play those free-to-play games.
They want to provide the premium thing for the premium customer.
So
that's where the PS5 Pro comes in, things like that.
Yeah, PS5 Pro and the speculation of the PS6 and everything. I think their priority, as video games have moved out of their infancy and now they're in that like adolescent adult period where it's stabilizing and things are becoming like normal.
Yeah,
they're trying to figure out what that final norm, well, not final, but that.
I mean, I have to imagine it's like just not the right call. Because when you don't invest in a younger generation or you like isolate them, you're basically like you're strangling your own business model.
You're putting a time limit on yourself. Yeah. And
like everyone, the reality is they're looking at the numbers and they're like, oh, well, everyone's moving to mobile. And it's like, well, why are they moving to mobile? Right? Because it's accessible, it's free, they already have the device, And that's where they stay. Kids end up getting on Roblox and Minecraft and they stay there. So maybe that's the problem they should be addressing. I mean, Nintendo's also kind of, to be honest, a little bit of a premium, like Apple adjacent product space.
What it is now, especially with Switch 2 specifically, especially when you consider the price of the games, stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly. Like they will never devalue their games, but they're banking on a family unit buying like one console and one game per year, and then the rest of their time is like inherently just going to be spent on Roblox and Minecraft and Fortnite.
Yeah, I mean the funniest thing is Roblox isn't even on them. I heard someone say no one's going to buy no one cares about, not a PS6 specifically, but like a next generation console when little Jimmy can play Roblox on their Switch, and I was like, that little Jimmy cannot play Roblox on his Switch, right?
You play it on his mom's iPhone, though.
Yeah, that's true. But even that, like an iPhone, it's still a device that gets upgraded every year. They still replace those things. So I think that's a misread, to a certain degree.
Well, they replace it, but it's also like it's an essentialized device.
Yeah. That's what I mean. Like, what can you do to make these new consoles feel like that? And there isn't really anything.
No, there's literally nothing you can do. The more capable that your daily driver devices can do.
Yeah, once it matches or exceeds that, and there's nothing unique about it, because for all intents and purposes, these consoles are just,
I mean, honestly, movies have the same problem. It's like they can't get people to stop watching movies on their phone. They can't get people to stop watching YouTube Shorts, right? Like It's just it's already there. They already have it. It's too easy.
It's way too It's
too easy. There's no friction. There's no barrier for entry at all. And so that's always going to drive engagement, right? Yeah. And that's the time. It's all a time battle. It's almost not even a money battle.
It's a
time and it's a friction.
There's a very much battle. A convenience battle.
Yeah.
And that convenience could be from time to being able to like play it wherever you want. That's where phones and that's where Switch found its success in Japan, especially.
That's why Netflix has a gaming department in general, because they know people are on Netflix on their phone. So it's like, well, if they have Netflix on their phone, maybe we can provide a direct link to the games. Yeah. And that's all it is, right? Yeah. And it works.
And they put good games on there, too.
They do. There's real games.
Shredder's Revenge, shit like that. Yeah. Grand Theft Auto was on there.
That's why that's literally why they spent the money to become a publisher, and it's already paid themselves back, right? Like, and it's like invested in good games, which like there's a benefit to that, and not just linking to Roblox. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So it's interesting just the way things are evolving, and I mean, you know, PlayStation, Xbox, even Nintendo to some degree, like they probably are going to lose market share continuously because it's like there's no real way to solve that problem. Yeah. Like you just have to make it a different problem, right?
Exactly.
You have to just make it different meld it entirely. Into a different
the on physical games specifically, like movies, music, and all that have the benefit of being able to be played on whatever device will read them.
Right.
Like you can play. I can still pull out my PS2 and play a DVD movie. Sorry, a DVD movie that came out today on my PS2. You know what I mean?
Right.
But like a video game, let's say they release a new N64 game. I need an N64 to play it.
Right.
Or let's say I have an old N64 game and I want to pass it down. That person's gonna either have to have an N64 or find one.
And it's gonna have to work.
It's gonna have to work in the first place. And I think that's where some parts of the digital and physical thing come apart for me in the sense of like...
Well, but again, going back to a movie comparison, they have the same problem, right?
But you don't like... Which part?
In the sense that like people release movies physically less than they ever did before, right?
Yeah, and that's true. Like the section is gone from a lot of stores.
Yeah, and it's something that even in that space, like film critics and fans lament the fact that like they don't always get a Blu-ray release of their favorite movie, especially if not in 4K or in IMAX or in the formats that they care about.
Yeah.
So like that preservation era also has the same challenges.
Yeah, but at least you can experience the movie in some way on a lot of random devices. You know what I mean? Like what I'm trying to get at is the games are kind of coupled to the platform.
They are like a DS game.
Yeah, and we haven't separated from that yet. We kind of started to, where like PS4 games are on PS5 basically seamlessly.
Right.
Switch games are on Switch too, but that's not the same thing, because those Switch cards are a very specific thing. You still need a specific thing for those.
Right.
And at least for me, at the age that I'm at, digital shit is fine, because as long as if I can keep the console taken care of, I can find a way to keep those games too.
Right.
Whether, officially or unofficially. But like if my PS3 breaks and I want to watch a Blu-ray, I just find another fucking random Blu-ray player and play it that way. It's I think some people will look at their video games the same way they look at a movie when it comes to having it physically, and they don't do what they got to do to they don't take care of they don't think about how much they got to take care of the machine that they're playing it on.
Well, it goes back to the friction
so it's like till limited.
Like keeping things nice and working and maintaining them, like that's all friction, right? Even physical, like you mentioned, like, okay, you could play the Blu-rays on your PS3, or you could get another Blu-ray player. Like we're increasingly getting into a world where this is all just friction, right? Yeah. Game consoles have the most amount of friction because you have to have the very specific device tied to that specific game. And there's no other way to play that physical game that you have, which is the point you were making. But it's even going beyond that is my point, is that just like sheerly having friction at all
Mhm.
is removing people's desire
having
or
it.
interest in having it physically.
Yeah.
So
The
it's just kind of the reality.
yeah. So does it? Do you feel as indignant as some people do? Where there's
No,
some
I mean,
people that are
I
deciding they're
haven't
not going to
bought
buy
anything
PlayStation.
physical this generation. I don't think I've bought anything physical in at least 5 years.
Yeah.
Um,
I can't think. I've definitely bought physical games in the last 5 years, but I don't remember what. To be real.
I don't think I've bought any physical games in the last 5 years. I have not bought a single physical Switch 2 game.
I bought Dragon Quest 3 physical. That's what it
I
is.
don't think I bought anything for PS5 physical even.
Yeah.
And I have a lot of PS5 games.
Yeah.
So I am part of the problem. But, you know, it's like, it's too easy.
It is too
It's
easy.
too easy.
And like the benefits of because I have fucking 4 different Switch consoles. Oh my god, the benefits of me having the shit digitally far outweigh the negatives of not having
I've
physical
always honestly wanted things to be digital.
Mm-hmm.
And even the games that I have physical,
Yeah.
in many cases I've rebought them digitally.
Digital. I've done that
for
more
the
than
convenience.
Once. Yeah, I bought both Mario Kart 8 versions. I've bought them physically, regretted it, and bought them digitally.
Yeah.
What was it?
Convenience will always drive people to do things.
Yeah,
and that's been the way for hundreds of years.
Yeah.
That's just how you guide human behavior.
And I think there's nothing. I don't think there's anything to get. Like, Sony's not going to backtrack on this one. Period.
No.
I think it's time to try to get over it. And if you can't get over it, move on to another hobby or a platform, whatever. But at the same time, I do think physical should always be an option, even if a reduced option. I don't like the solution that people are saying, like, oh, just make $100 collector's editions and I'll buy those. Like, fuck you.
No,
Why would you? That's like the other end of the fucking classist bullshit. It's like, oh, if they can't have them, I'll pay $300 for it. Like, fuck you. Fuck you. You don't deserve them either. But the, I don't even know what I was saying. I just needed to say but to get out of that voice.
It's very funny.
But yeah, in the end, I think there needs to be at least a physical option for third parties and first party. And like you were saying with Nintendo, they kind of made the game key cards because they saw the writing on the wall with a lot of third party publishers where they don't want to go through. They don't want to go through the hoops to print the games on these fucking media. They just want to put it on somebody else's server, make them deal with it.
Right.
So with fucking like the game key cards, it's you just put the thing in and it says Nintendo, download game. That's the studio doesn't. They don't have to order. They don't have to order fat fucking storage devices. They don't have to do any of that shit. They don't have to maintain it. You know.
Yeah.
And I think if that means games get made and games get played, fine, great. That's just how it is, you know what I mean? I can't really be too upset with it, especially with Microsoft doing what they're doing.
It's a good segue.
I've kind of like this thing is a year and a half away.
Yeah. I'll
see how that shakes out when we get there, because something is happening right now.
Right.
With these sons of bitches. Microsoft was doing way too fucking much like 4 or 5 years ago. That shit's coming to roost and it's hurting a lot of people. Like actually hurting people.
It's really interesting.
Yeah.
It's a very fascinating case study, not just in the gaming industry, but like as
just
in business.
General business thing, yeah.
In business, because it's like you look at the timeline and Phil Spencer was the head of in the face of Xbox for many years. For what, 10?
I think about 10 years.
10-ish years.
Maybe a touch more.
Game Pass became a thing because of him. Game Pass is the ultimate thing of like gamers dreaming about what they wish existed.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, what if I could just play all my games? Any game I want.
Whenever it comes
for $20 a month.
Yeah.
For $1 a month.
Yeah.
Right? And it's like, oh, what if Netflix but gaming?
No.
What if HBO Max but gaming? Games. Right? Yeah. And I think every developer in the world could have looked at that and been like, this instantly devalues games.
To fucking work the way we think.
It
the way we all
it
think
devalues games, and it does not tap into the way people consume games compared to other subscription services, right?
I think
games are not something that you sort of play for 30 minutes and then do a different thing, right? Typically, games are like that. It's one of the big differentiators between games and movies and music is like, music you might buy, like let's talk about the 90s, right? Yeah. Movies, you might buy a new VHS. You might go to the store and rent a new movie or 4 movies in a weekend and, pop them in and blast through them all in an afternoon. Yeah. Music, you might get a new CD every week. You listen to the album, you memorize the lyrics, you get a new one.
Yeah.
Games, people would buy a new game once every like 6 months.
Yeah.
And it would last
or
them
maybe
that
even
long,
more than that.
Right?
But yeah.
They'd play a little bit every day or every weekend. And they would sink like dozens and dozens of hours to it, right? There's an element of rewatching a movie. Like, I remember as a kid, I would rewatch whatever movie I rented because I had it for the week.
I rewatched the shit.
And I'd rewatch the Disney movies, right? But there's an element of value there. Again, Nintendo's very good at this. They're very good at recognizing the value of their IP, how much it's worth, how to get people to engage with it, how to monetize time.
There's a reason they've been able to exist so long in this space,
right?
Having only that. I mean, now they're branching out to a lot of different media,
and Game Pass does the opposite of that. It demonetizes a game and the time you're spending on it to the point where it is free. The whole thing of people wanting their free shit, like, they got it.
They got it. Dog, I'm going to tell you right now, Game Pass, so easy to take advantage of, too. I've done it twice. One time by accident, the second time because I knew it was going to work. And I played Starfield. I've mentioned this before. I played Starfield. I popped Game Pass for a month. Played Starfield. It took me about 4 or 5 days. Canceled Game Pass. I finished the main story. I got everything I wanted out of it. Canceled Game Pass. They gave me all my money back. Ninja Gaiden 2 Black came out. I wanted to play it. Popped Game Pass. Beat it in 2 days. Got what I needed out of it. Canceled Game Pass. They gave me all of my money back.
That's psychotic.
I can't be the only one doing that.
Clearly not, because they bled money for years.
That's what I'm saying. And even the people that are paying for Game Pass, they'll see a game, play it, they'll get what they need out of it, never buy it.
It's the other end of the extreme spectrum of consumer friendliness. It's too consumer friendly.
It's too nice.
Even Steam kind of has this issue to a degree with the 2-hour refund thing, because people might make legitimately interesting, valuable games that are like $10 to $15 games that people will beat and then refund it, and then like, what was the point? Dude, why would I publish to a platform that does that? You know what I mean? I've
seen ungrateful consumers say if they didn't want people to refund it, they should have made it a better value. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
just because it's short does not mean it's not like. Take advantage of it, sure. They're not going to stop you, but at the same time,
don't hate the player, hate the game.
You're like, you're a bitch for doing it, but I can't stop you either because it's easy to take advantage of. I've done it. I get it.
So I mean, it's just a catastrophic series of business decisions that led them down this path, and they doubled down on it, right? Like, there's always been a mindset online. And I think there's an element of truth to it where it's like, if you provide a way of conveniently accessing media at a reasonable price, people will do that rather than pirate. Right? That was the whole thing with Netflix back before we had the overproliferation of streaming services. I would say in like the 2015 to 2020 range is when sort of, streaming services and piracy were at diametric ends of the spectrum, and I think piracy has resurged to some degree because
a lot of reasons
of the forking of for a lot of reasons. But I think that's one of them is like the forking of streaming services, and there's just so many now. And now you have to spend literally more than you had to spend back when cable was a thing.
Package, exactly.
And Game Pass, I think, was trying to test the same hypothesis. And it unfortunately failed because, again, like the value proposition and the value of what people would be willing to pay for a game is higher than it is for an individual movie or an individual piece of music, right?
Yeah.
An individual song,
like an
a
album or song or
$1,
whatever.
Apple song
iTunes
on
purchase,
iTunes or whatever, or like renting a movie on YouTube for $3, right?
Which people do.
I
watch people do it. I'm like, oh, okay.
But it's like you compare the value, right?
Yeah.
It's like buying a game or renting it. I mean, there are $5 games. I have issues with Steam. That's actually kind of one of them. Is like I think Steam discounts or whatever.
And Steam has tricked people into thinking that games
should be dirt cheap, right?
Yeah.
I think I mentioned before, but my favorite streamer, one of the things that he talks about is like whenever people talk about the whole like game value thing.
Yeah.
And it's like sort of how much is a game worth? Is a game worth $80? Is a game worth $70? The first thing he always asks is how much would you be willing to pay for a plain white t-shirt?
Yeah.
Have I mentioned this?
Yeah.
And it's like the number of times that people will just say $1.
Yeah.
$1 for like a plain white t-shirt is interesting and staggering. I asked her this question. She said $10. I was like, that's a little much, but like I appreciate the candor. But it's the same kind of thing, right? It's like what is fair market value for like some of the best, highest quality game design, enjoyment, satisfaction, puzzle solving, story and world building that's going to last you 200 hours, right? Like what price would somebody put on that?
Yeah.
So and I'm just saying that hypothetically. I'm not asking the actual question. But like Game Pass is basically saying like, well, what if they didn't have to pay anything for it?
What if they didn't have to do any of that thinking?
What if they just have to pay the fee to stay on the subscription for a month?
Yeah.
So they really cannibalize their own audience, right? It's to some degree, it's also a little bit like the whole AI thing with Google putting AI and not needing people to go to the websites anymore and driving web traffic.
It's like they just scrape. There's no traffic going.
It's just cannibalizing their own business.
Exactly. Like there's no fucking sites for people to. Eventually, it'll just be the AI scraping itself because there's nothing left to fucking read.
Exactly.
But like
who would want to put games on Game Pass if they're not making any money?
Yeah. It's like we made all this money, we put it on Game Pass, and it made like a tenth of what we could have made if we had just asked people for $50.
Yeah.
And I think one of the things Microsoft did that I can't stand when it came to Game Pass was just buy up all these people.
Oh my god!
Get all these studios. Like we're putting your shit on Game Pass.
That was very much like the classic business example of it's like, well, you only have so many levers that you can pull to increase your profit margins. And one of them is just to try to grow your market and grow your revenue base. And the only way to do that is like by buying studios, but that also grows your cost. And it's like there's a scalability factor that people don't
are you
take
making
into
enough money to
consideration.
take care of this shit?
Well, and just the operations of managing these studios and keeping them aligned with like your strategy and your vision. Like it becomes exponentially more difficult with each group and swath of people that you now have in your organization.
Like you can have more kids to extend your legacy, but after the 10th kid, can you feed them all? Yeah. It's like don't have all them damn kids, man. Yeah. I think and it's the result is layoffs.
Yeah.
The result has been layoffs and closures.
And it's unfortunate that this is just kind of how it has to go, right?
Sure.
Like
the way to fix this was like years ago. So,
it was years ago, and it was better business decisions. But it's just kind of how it goes. Yeah. I don't think there's really like a real answer to it. It's easy to look at it and be like capitalism is the problem, but it's like, he tried something different, right?
Yeah.
And he didn't lose his job. He got like a golden parachute, and that sucks. That feels really bad. He also had a lot of pressure, and he was doing things that like were trying to push the boundaries in the industry. Yeah. So was it wrong? I don't know. What if it had turned out differently? It's like he obviously didn't intentionally tank Xbox and destroy everyone's lives, right?
But in this particular case, I don't know if you know what I mean?
Sure. The road to hell is paved with good intentions.
Yeah.
Although that's not really what the metaphor
that's not what's
means.
going on here. But I think by they tried to have too much. You know what I mean? There's a certain possessiveness to it that didn't translate to them taking care of these studios, these companies, these people. You can have all of this stuff. You can publish all these games and all this stuff and like on all these different platforms and still make that money from it. But what are you doing to make that a healthy environment for the people that are now under your umbrella?
Right.
Whatever it was they needed to do to make that happen didn't happen. And the result now is that a lot of talented people, to use buzzwordy phrasing, a lot of talented people will probably never have a job in this industry again.
Yeah. Unless
they do it on their own, which is not easy. It's very, very hard. Yeah. A lot of these people, like, speaking of Microsoft and Rare, people think of Playtonic because they made it. People think of Playtonic because they made a game that looks like the game they already like.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of other Rare developers that have made games. Like, there's a fucking Jet Force Gemini clone that they made. No one knows about
Wild Blue Skies.
Yeah, and Wild Blue Skies exists, and that's the Argonaut, right. Like people who were part of Argonaut at one point. It's like these people are better together than they are apart. They're greater than some of their parts, and when you separate them all, you just create a bunch of disparate, janky pieces that get forgotten by the people that really need to remember them the most.
Yeah,
and like, this is it'd be one thing if they were just messing up the Xbox business, but in what they've done is they've messed up everybody's business, because now PlayStation doesn't have really significant competition. They can do whatever they want. They're the platform. They're the AAA platform. That's just how it is. The games that these companies were making for other platforms just ain't happening. They decided they were going to we got to take it back. We need exclusives again. It's one thing if you start that way and stay that way. It's another thing if you give people stuff and then say, actually, never mind. That hurts.
It's true.
That hurts worse than never giving it to them in the first place.
It's true.
And people will notice that. That like, for me, especially,
that's true in every industry. That's true in every industry, every team, anybody that's ever produced anything. Yeah.
I'm just like, all right, well, I don't really give a shit then. Like, even PlayStation saying, "Oh, we're not going to put the games on PC anymore." I'm like, all right, I guess I don't fucking need them, do I?
Yeah.
I went this long. I think it's a situation where these two companies don't know where up is. They're trying to make it up, and in doing so, they're chopping the ladder from under them to put it above themselves.
Yeah.
But they chop the ladder and forget, gravity's a thing. So they're just hanging on this fucking wall, trying shit that isn't doing anything but causing them harm, or at least stagnating them in a way that's affecting the shit around them.
That's true.
And I know y'all don't want to hear me wank and jank Nintendo, because
it's straight up. I was going to do the same thing.
It's just like, it's just going to happen.
They know how to do this shit. They know how to run a fucking business.
They know how to run a business, like, specifically in video games. They know what they're doing. You can critique all the things they do. It's great, whatever. Like, that's good. It's good to critique what they're doing, shit like that. But you also have to look at the result.
They've kept the same teams
yeah.
for decades. Like they keep the same talent. Yeah. They know that keeping talent together for a long time is going to produce
better results. On top of that, despite their $80 Hail Mary with Mario Kart World, they've been putting out games that are $50. They've been putting out games that are not huge commitments. They've been putting out...
Splatoon Raiders just came out.
Yeah, they've been putting out what people are calling AA games, but they're putting out games that are, that are still games that people are interested in, especially their home region. Holy shit.
Yeah, but talking about, like, again, what does a healthy company look like in this industry?
Yeah.
Like, it could not more clearly look like Nintendo right now.
When it comes to platform holders specifically, yeah.
Like, who was it, Iwata or somebody that was like, people, I mean, it might have been Miyamoto. It's like, people will put better shit out, not just when they've been around longer, but when they don't fear for their jobs.
I forgot who said that.
Like,
right.
It's not even just a thing about the cohesion within a particular team, which is important, but it's also just like the sense of, like, the threat level.
Yeah, you need to feel like you're being protected by the company that you're doing work for. You can't feel like you're every step you take could be the one that fucking pulls the floor out from you. Or drops the floor out from you.
It's just good business at that point,
Yeah,
right? It's table stakes running a business.
Yeah, you can not like Nintendo's games. You can not like the way they treat like fan projects and stuff like that. I get that. I totally understand. But as someone who's been behind the curtain, not at Nintendo, but behind the curtain in general, it's really, really, really valuable that they take care of their people.
Yeah, that's. Like, I mean, honestly, that's what they're doing when they shit on fan projects and they're selling.
They're protecting the work,
but yeah, they're not just protecting their products; they're protecting their people.
Work of the people that
people built those things, and those people need to be protected with the longevity of the products that they own and maintain for their duration of their careers.
And those people the people being protected might not actually care that much about their like, oh yeah, use my sprites, whatever, I don't give a shit. But it's it's kind of an overarching thing that they need to do for everybody and their IP and all that. Whether it's with the fucking Nintendo ninjas or whatever the fuck you want to call them, they don't do it with a soft touch, and I think that's what people tend to have a problem with, because a lot of these other companies actually do. They do this kind of thing that you don't hear about it.
They're a little bit old school with their approach.
Yeah.
It is going to be interesting to see what happens with Nintendo once all of the old heads are gone.
Yeah, because they're retiring.
Exactly, I think that's part of it, right?
Yeah.
Like there might be a big shakeup at Nintendo in the 10 to 20 year time horizon. That like maybe they will completely change their mentality and they'll become a little bit more cutthroat. They'll have to cut
because the people that made them what people expect them to be aren't necessarily always the same people now.
Exactly.
They're gonna be
it'll be a little bit more turbulent, a little bit more uncertain.
Yeah.
And people's sort of like defense levels go up when there's uncertainty at play.
But at the same time, they've been apparently they're very good at keeping new people up to date.
Right.
On the things they've been doing in the past. Yeah, just like the legacy.
Yeah. That goes to the whole remakes thing too.
That's
other teams an opportunity to tap in.
To improve themselves, that they're like, we can do this. You don't have to do this. We can do this. We, non-Japanese company in a completely different corner of this market, we can do this. Just give us the little bit of direction, and your intellectual property is taken care of. But I don't want to talk too much about Spintendo. I just want to put that on.
No,
I want to put that down.
It's important to recognize, because and I think people do recognize that. They always say like, oh, well, Nintendo wins by doing nothing. It's like, I don't know if that's necessarily the case. I think it's fair. There's a lot of very intentional things that they are doing, even if people don't always like it.
Yeah, I think. People's problem with Nintendo is just how heavy, like I was saying, just how heavy-handed they tend to be, and then a lot of people, their only like interaction with games is Nintendo, like not even with the PC. There's just so they see everything they do as like some kind of it's like a child looking at the parent and only focusing on the time they took something that wasn't good for them away, and not the times they gave them something that they really needed or whatever. But yeah, like Microsoft firing so many people, it's the result of just of a lot of take without enough give, even to the consumers and to the developers, and just a lot of what I'm just going to call it magical thinking.
I wish there was a better answer for preventing these kinds of things, as well as recourse for the people that cause them.
Yeah,
I just don't know what that is.
Yeah. And like, one of the things I dislike about the how people have been talking about this kind of thing is I've seen people say, oh well, if firing people is what it took to get the next Fallout made, then it's good. And I'm like, dog, I don't think Obsidian really wants to make Fallout. I think what you're seeing, there's things you want selfishly. You selfishly want them. You don't care what the cost is, but you don't have a frame for wanting anything new. Maybe you saw Starfield and it was like, oh, this is boring. So now you just want Fallout, and I understand wanting Elder Scrolls because they showed something. But it's like, dog, this isn't. I don't know if this is worth it. A lot of the people that have worked on these games for years got let go. They're just gone.
Yeah.
You're not. Whatever comes out is not going to be what you think it is. I want all these studios just to be making games they want to make. If they start something and they don't want to make it, please don't announce it. I'm still pissed about Perfect Dark.
Yeah, Perfect Dark is grim.
I hate that Perfect Dark got canceled. I hate
that it got announced.
I hate that, but I hate more that it got announced.
Yeah.
If it didn't get announced, I wouldn't even know. But because I know, it's just another thing that Microsoft did. That's like, why would I fuck with your shit?
It's bad.
Why would I fuck with you?
It's bad business, dude. It's just bad business. Yeah. It's crazy stuff.
And I'm wondering what the industry is going to look like in just 2 years.
I mean, it feels like that almost kind of happened with Prime 4.
Yeah. I mean,
like it almost probably exactly happened the way Perfect Dark worked out, where like they looked at it halfway through and they're like, this is not good. This
isn't it. Yeah.
And if it were Xbox or PlayStation, they probably would have just axed it and taken the tax write-off.
Yeah.
But because it's Nintendo and they understand the importance both to the developers and to the expectations set with an audience, with their old school Japanese mentality, it's like there's an honor system here, and we have to do right. We're going to do whatever we can do to get this as good as possible, even though we know we're going to take the fucking hit on the review scores and with the brand of Metroid in general.
Yeah.
But
I like Prime 4 for the record, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, I like the game too.
Yeah. And, I mean, they even made the Switch 1 version, and it's like the best looking Switch game, period. Yeah. So, you know, they had a follow through, whether you enjoy that follow through or not. At least something happened. People got to work on something. People got to continue to get paid. I think if they fired a ton of people at Retro Studios, we would have found out by now because they're in Texas, just like it and all that other kind of stuff.
The unfortunate reality also is like this is just kind of happening across all tech industries.
All tech industries. I was going to say that.
It's not just gaming, right?
Yeah.
Like PlayStation had layoffs, and Xbox had layoffs. Many other tech companies, software companies had layoffs. A lot of it is due to the post-COVID boom.
Yeah.
That, like, again, this is unfortunate. This is just a nature of capitalism and how it does work. It's a bad side effect is that people will ramp up hiring to try to capitalize on an increance in revenue, and then they can't maintain it, and so they collapse in on themselves,
and then they have to
cut back,
throw out a bunch of people. And that's one of those things I think of, like Sony. PlayStation is part of Sony, of course. They are in the end a tech corporation,
right?
Microsoft with Xbox and everything. In the end, that's what they are.
Yeah.
So they're going to act like that. They're going to do things like that. They don't really for the better of like the video games or the creativity or whatever. That's secondary or even tertiary when it comes to the other tech company shit.
It's true.
Whereas like
who also went through similar sizes of layoffs.
Yeah.
Right? Like I was just looking up, Xbox laid off 20% of its total staff.
Yeah.
It's a big number. I've gone through that.
Yeah.
Like at my first job with crypto stuff.
With the crypto freak,
and it was a bad feeling, but you know what? Life moves on. Unfortunately.
I mean, what else can you say about that? That's for sure.
It's the whole thing. It's like don't let your identity be tied to it.
Yeah,
before or after, like we were saying earlier.
Yeah,
you know, it's just sort of like you leave your legacy, you leave your stamp and your pride on the things that you work on, and you know you take that with you. But like your identity and your attachment to a particular company or a product or a franchise or an IP or whatever it is, it's just like. You got to hold it at arm's length. You have to, hold your coworkers at a little bit of an arm's length, right? Like you want to be friendly with them, you want to have a good relationship with them, but like it's work, right? I think a work-life separation on some level is important because again, like no one knows when you're going to get let go. Yeah, you know, you might get let go today, I might get let go tomorrow. I don't fucking know, right? And if I do, that sucks. But like, I'll find another job. Hopefully. I'll find something to do. I mean, if I have to drive Uber, I'll drive Uber. Sure. You know, like. We figured it out. Humanity has been in survival mode since the dawn of its existence. Yeah. You know, you figure it out, and everybody's in this together. So you just got to find community where you can find it, survive together, thrive together, I don't know where I'm going with this.
You're right, but it's corny. But yeah,
it's corny, but it's true. You know, it's like you gotta find the positives.
Sure, I don't disagree with you.
Find the ways to thrive, right?
Yeah.
It's important. It's important to have that kind of an outlook. Otherwise, you're gonna
be in the doldrums.
You're gonna be
for the rest of
succumbing
your
to mental
life.
illness your entire life, and you're not gonna know how to get out of it.
Yeah. Just to complete that thought, I think people do have a lot of attachments to, especially the past.
I think in the video game industry, especially, it's like it's probably really bad, right? Yeah. It's probably. I think of especially like it would probably like if Nintendo actually worked like these other companies, it would be catastrophic levels of like trauma dumping in terms of like what would be happening to people that work for them. Like imagine working on like Pokemon and then getting like literally let go. After like designing
50 of them in the newest game or whatever.
And it's like, oh, actually this game's not going to come out and we're firing 10% of our workforce, and you know.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to ever look at that shit.
It would be really bad. It would be really bad. People get super attached, you know. It's just
people like the people within and the customer base gets used to. This is just a human thing in general, like we've been talking about. They get attached to the way certain way things have been done.
Star Wars is the same kind of thing.
They get attached to their expectations, and I've noticed this isn't new, but I've noticed more consciously lately that people have a problem where they see fiction, especially, and they think it happened. They think these stories actually happened. So when they're
what?
You know what I mean?
I don't really know what you mean.
Let me explain. Then,
like they think the plot of Pokemon Red actually happened.
They treat it like it's something that's in a history book. They treat it like it actually occurred.
Like it's gospel.
So if you change it, then it's wrong.
I see.
When it's like, no, man.
Like the Zelda timeline.
The Zelda timeline, just the way a movie or a game or a book was written. Like, of course, if it's a historical record, you don't want to fuck with that. But if it's fiction, then it doesn't matter. It's like things can change, things can be retcon, whatever. I mean,
people are seeing this now with the Odyssey, right?
It's like you people need to let go a little bit, because they put themselves so deep into it that they think they're part of it.
It's a sense of propriety is what it comes down to. Is like people's sense of propriety is just so connected to what was and not what could be. What
could be or what will be or sometimes what even the present is. Like they see the present and it's like, wait a minute.
What matters.
This isn't what it's just like it's very weird when I think about it, and even further, people's experiences with fiction, not experiences with reality, that's a different story entirely. But people's experiences with fiction, they'll be like, they'll experience it one way and you experience it a different way. You try to talk about it with them, and if they're reasonable, they're like, oh, this is how I, interpreted this, how I blah, blah, blah. But an unreasonable person will start telling you, no, that's not right. That's not how it is. That's not correct. And you'll be like, yo, what the fuck? The guy that wrote it even said that it's this. Like, why are you getting so upset about it?
Yeah, but I mean, this is human nature.
That's about
everything. It's about politics. It's about math. It's about geography. It's about religion. Like everything is like that.
Isn't that rough though? Like
that's the human experience.
That energy should be used on something that'll help people, not wasted.
I agree.
On shit that's completely nonsense.
That's unfortunately the human experience. You could argue that it's almost better wasted on nonsense than on incorrectly voicing the wrong thing about something that matters, right?
Okay, you get
what I'm saying?
I understand what you're saying that way too, because that happens very often.
Yeah, exactly.
It happens constantly. It's probably happening right now. But I don't know. I think there's people that have a lot of juice for a lot of passion, and they put it in weird shit.
It's the human condition.
Yeah.
It's the human condition. Some people put it into, horticulture or entomology or whatever, right?
Grab that hoe and plant that seed. No, don't worry about it.
Or ornithology. Like, it's just every community is like that. It's like they've got They're people that are well-read and reasonable.
Yeah.
And you have people that are well-read and unreasonable. And you have people that are idiots
but
and reasonable. And you have people that are idiots and completely unreasonable about it.
Sometimes they drive the fucking train, which is very.
That's just how it goes sometimes. You live, you learn, you find your community, and you thrive.
This word thrive. But okay. I don't know if I have anything else to say in particular. I think games, at least because that's what we talk about here, are in a very weird position, and I think a lot of people are also like coming to terms with growing out of them, and not really knowing what to do with that, and that anger is being directed at the companies that are kind of making it seem like their childhood, quote unquote, is going away earlier than they thought it.
Yeah, I mean it's conflating with a lot of other things that are happening from a trend perspective. Yeah. The economy's in a weird place.
The economy's all kinds of fucked up.
The state of the world is in a weird place. The state of technology is in a weird place with AI.
Yeah, like
the state of just games in general, the state of graphics and what's capable, the state of the cost of electronics these days. Yeah. Everything's in a fucking
necessity
weird place.
of improving them as fast as we used to. Like
everything right now is in a weird place. A lot of the weirdness is driven by AI.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
Not even just like within video games.
Not even within video games, not within just tech.
People's existential understanding of what is reality going to look like in our daily lives in the next 3 to 5 years.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Like 2, 3, 4 years, what the fuck are we going to... What are we going to be talking about? What are we going to look like?
Right.
When it comes to, all of this shit. Like, will this be in the fucking trash because...
This laptop?
Yeah. I don't know.
It's, we live day by day. We don't think too far ahead.
We live day by day. But you look too far ahead.
You got to compartmentalize. You just got to be like, I'm going to look at what's in front of me. And if I can look beyond that, I'm going to freak out.
You're going to freak out. But don't get stuck in the mud.
I don't need to freak out. I don't need to get stuck in the mud. I don't need to get stuck in the past. Yeah. You just keep taking another step. Keep taking another step.
Every notch as the sun rises.
Hang out with the people next to you and you keep walking. Wow. Right? And that's it.
This dude's been watching too much Sesame Street.
I'm walking hand in hand with Gordon and Elmo.
But all right. I think I've got my stuff out.
Let's wrap it up. Next time we'll actually talk about games.
Yeah. Oh, we did.
We could talk about Star Fox. That's not a real game. That's a remake.
Fuck you. do the end thing. We're on Podbean. We're on
all right. You like this shit? Give us an email at memoryleaguepodcast@gmail.com. We're at Podbean, iHeartRadio, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify.
That's it.
I think that's it.
Yeah.
All right. Next time, gamers.
Yeah.
Peace.
Stay healthy.